Today we're going to be talking about Minecraft Let's Plays and where they've gone. Honestly, I don't really know what to do about this, so I am open to suggestions down in the comment section.
Mumbo, I think I have the solution for you. You were right about Minecraft content changing on YouTube, but I do feel like you are missing some key pieces of information to do with the algorithm and to do with where Let's Plays have actually gone. I have compiled a bunch of really useful tips that are not only going to be helpful for you, Mumbo, but they're going to be helpful for anybody else that is watching as well. These are going to be tips about the algorithm and how to beat it, as well as how to make Let's Play content without the views constantly tapering off. Let's Plays actually haven't gone anywhere at all. It may seem like it, but they've actually just evolved. Their titles and thumbnails are different from what they used to be, which is why it seems like they've gone. But I can assure you that's not the case. So I actually have some examples for you of these new era Let's Plays is what I'm going to call them.
I gotta see it now.
Yeah. It literally looks like a shrine.
This might just be one of my favorite bridges in my world, and I've made a lot of bridges.
Today we have something absolutely
huge. Something so huge. The biggest build we've ever done ever.
big.
As you can see, those clips all share that classic Let's Play feel, but the difference that they have is they all share this new era type of title and thumbnail. So a massive factor of why Minecraft Let's Play content has changed from episodic titles and thumbnails to this new era style of titles and thumbnails is because our expectations have changed, as well as the importance of YouTube search. For example, right, if you saw a random video on your homepage like this one on screen, to be honest, if I'm being real, I wouldn't click this, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't either. Like, it looks nice, it's got a decent thumbnail to it, but just based on the information that the title and thumbnail give you, it doesn't really create any intrigue. Most people are not going to click it because they're not really interested. They've seen so many people across the YouTube platform make farms, so they're not going to want to watch that. Oh, and the example I showed you, by the way, is actually my video. So I'm not just roasting a random person's thing. This is my stuff, and even I can see that this is not really good enough nowadays. It's not the thing that stands out to people. Because of these new expectations that we have now, it means that somebody that's created like a video that's absolutely worthy of having millions of views, calling it Let's Play episode blah blah blah, is actually like holding it back, and I can show you why. I've typed in the search Minecraft Let's Play, that's it, okay? And as you can see, it's like the titles, the thumbnails, most of it is really similar. The people that show up in that list are already pre-established creators that have a lot of subscribers, which means that they're more likely to get views. And Mumbo, you do indeed fall into this category as well. So now you can see why it would be so hard to stand out against other creators if your videos are worded basically the same way. And then even more so if there's, like, say, tens of thousands of other people doing the exact same thing, basically saying Let's Play episode blah blah blah. You're basically putting yourself in a category of saying, like, I'm okay with blending in. So, Mumbo, what can you actually do about this? In your video, you mentioned about how episodic titles are hostile for new viewers, and you are right about that. Why would somebody click on something when they have no idea about anything to do with it previously? It doesn't give them the intrigue that they need, so you are right about that. One thing that I found that's really important to understand as I've started to make content myself is that you don't need to title something as an episode for it to be an episode, if that makes sense. Like, for example, you could have a series of like really great videos that all go together, but none of them have episode 1, episode 2, episode 3 in them. Instead, it could be, I've got some examples which I'll read out. So, I built 300 trees in Hermitcraft to make the perfect trap. That could be episode 1. That could just be what your episode 1 is called. But you don't have to tell anyone that was episode 1 of Hermitcraft. you know, because it means that you don't have to box yourself in with this let's play format anymore. Or some other ideas that I've got written down. So we've got, this redstone build took me a week to perfect, and you can just show your creative process of what you was making, and then you could also switch over to Hermitcraft and show you adding it into the world, like, and do like this back and forth between creative and Hermitcraft. Another example is, this one block changed Minecraft for me. That doesn't sound like it would be an episode, but it could quite easily be, because you could talk about how, I don't know, even dirt. You could talk about how dirt changed Minecraft for you because you realized, oh my god, dirt has so many uses, and then it's made you go and create like a ton of redstone builds all based around farming or planting trees or like, I don't know, just stuff to do with dirt. And then this last one, which is my favorite, I dug 69 holes to prove a point. Like, I don't even understand what kind of point you'd be trying to make with that. But it definitely works, and it is silly, and I do feel like people would click something like that. But what's great about all of these titles anyway is they all have like a certain level of intrigue. It creates like some curiosity and makes people want to click on it makes people want to click on the videos. You know, like hand building 300 trees for one trap sounds really excessive, and that gives somebody the question, why? Why on earth would you need to build so many trees just for a trap? To me, that sounds right up your alley, Mumbo. Thumbnails are a lot more difficult to explain, but I will give it my best shot. Since the thumbnail is the first thing that you're going to see, it needs to be really clear and direct about what you want it to get across. You need to treat the title like it's an extension of the thumbnail, if that makes sense. Like, you actually did a great job of it here, Mumbo. I'm a big fan of Redstone fans. I greatly enjoyed watching that video personally, and it's opened up a ton of inspiration for me with what I want to build. Like, I want to add animated things to my builds now. But it's important to note that people will see the of Redstone fans bit first, which will mean they'll have like an unanswered question in their head, like, huh? So what do you mean of Redstone fans? So they'll look at the title, but then there's no such thing as fans in Minecraft, so it makes people go, has he managed to make a working fan in Minecraft? And they'll click because they're curious to see whether that's what you've done or not. And obviously that is what you've done. Also, this exact video about the fan would have worked as just a Hermitcraft episode, because, for example, what you could have done is you could have showed the process of you messing around with the fans in creative, like I mentioned before, like creating something in creative, and then you could have gone into Hermitcraft in the same episode, and then you could have built the fan in Hermitcraft, and then it could have been a very nice sandwiched video. So the important thing is to make people curious about why you did a certain thing, and they'll click because of that. A big thing that you mentioned, Mumbo, is the algorithm, and you mentioned that it recommends content less and less. I don't know whether you meant this as when you upload episodes in a series it gets less and less, or just uploading content in general it seems to go down. I think you'll be happy to hear that neither one is actually the case. So the reason that content gets pushed less in a series is nothing to do with the algorithm actually. It's actually to do with the viewers themselves. This actually applies to every series, TV series, you know, Netflix, Hulu, and obviously on YouTube, but it doesn't matter the platform that you're on. Name a series and it's experienced the exact same thing. Lots of viewers at the beginning, tapers off towards the end. And the reason for this is because at the beginning of a series, people are much more willing to give it a chance, and then it's going to go slowly downhill. And that's actually because people who love watching the content, they'll stick throughout it, but the people who don't like it that much, they start to taper off over time. So somebody that wanted to watch just to see whether they liked it or not, and then decided they didn't, they will go. But then there's also things like life, jobs, family gatherings, things, just stuff getting in the way, events. You know, the normal episode that would be uploaded on a Sunday, for example, maybe somebody's just decided that they want to start going to church, maybe somebody started a new job, maybe just something got in the way, and then it starts to pile up They've got episodes waiting for them, like tons and tons of episodes, and they can't catch up with it anymore. So they just decide to stop watching. The first really important piece of information that I can give you about the algorithm is actually to focus on it as little as possible and focus instead on people. It's all about the viewers, and it always has been. The algorithm simply responds based on what the viewers do. So if you start spending all of your time focusing on making a video that you think the algorithm will love and that you think it will push to people, then you're already losing because you're a step behind. And this is because the algorithm is actually reactive. For example, when somebody posts a video, it pushes that video to like an audience of people that it thinks will like it. And then based on how they react to that video, you know, how long they watch it for, whether they like, whether they comment, you get the idea. That's what decides how far the video gets pushed and how soon it does it. But basically, YouTube will reward you for keeping people watching because it keeps them on the platform, which kind of like causes an upward spiral. The second piece of information is the target audience. In business, I studied business, you're taught that your target audience is incredibly important as it determines how well a product will sell. And funnily enough, the exact same thing applies to videos. If you give it the correct packaging, which is the title and thumbnail, and then you make the contents inside meet and exceed their expectations, you know, the video, then you'll be onto a winner. I mean, ultimately, time is money, and most people are not willing to spend it on someone they don't know. To conclude this video in a simple and nice way, continue making Let's Play content. If you're watching this and you're thinking about making content, go for it. Just word it differently for each episode and leave the numbers out of it. The same for the labels. We don't want episodes, we don't want Let's Play, we don't want any of that. Stuff that is unique and interesting to the video itself. But do make sure to keep the videos feeling like they are part of a connected series, because that's what keeps people coming back. So you want to do a mixture of something that can draw people in and that will still make the old people happy, if that makes sense. You want to leverage your titles and your thumbnails to create curiosity in viewers' minds, like, why did they do that certain thing? You know, why did they plant 300 trees just for a trap? So try and recreate your own versions of things like that. And if you really want to steal any of the title ideas that I put in this video, you can do so. I've not used any. I don't think anyone has used them before, so go for it. That is a gift to you. Use it. And remember, it's not about the algorithm. It's about the people. The more you start realizing that you're making content for people rather than a computer, the more your content is going to be picked up by those people, because they're not numbers. They are actual genuine human beings that are spending their time watching your content, like you are now watching my content, and I appreciate that a lot. I wish you all the best of luck. If this video helps you, please make sure to leave me a comment down below. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Mumbo, I hope this helps you. At the very least, if it doesn't help you, I hope it helps other people. So, thank you for watching. Also, Mumbo, can I be a part of Hermitcraft?